This is Roger Swain. You may remember me from my hit PBS show, The Victory Garden. And today, I'm here to welcome you all to my new show called Hobo Gardens of the Sick and Tired of Being Sick and Tired. So welcome, friends, and let's have a look at my garden.
Salvias. Salvia Sage. Salvias have been used since ancient times for warding off evil, healing snake bites, increasing women's fertility, and much, much more. Pliny the Elder wrote in 78 AD in his Naturalis Historia that the plant was called salvia by the Romans and used as a dietary aid and a local anesthetic for the skin. Charlemagne recommended the plant for cultivation in the early Middle Ages, and during the Carolingian Empire, it was cultivated in many monastery gardens. John Gerard's book Herbal, published in 1597, states that sage is singularly good for the head and the brain. It quickeneth the senses and memory, strengtheneth the sinews, restoreth health to those that have the palsy, and taketh away shaky trembling of the members. Just relaxing out here on my deck, and I thought I would impart a little bit of some of the things that I've learned over the years in my career. I haven't done any gardening videos or any gardening posts in quite some time, but I thought I would try to make it a weekly installment to share something regarding horticulture, botany, ecology. So I hope you find it helpful. I hope you learn something that you didn't know before, and I hope you share something with me that I never knew before. But I always hope to have a garden no matter where I am, and I do miss my work, and digging in the dirt and growing some color is absolutely a worthwhile aspiration. And I've always preferred the informal over the formal. With this balcony garden that I've been growing for several years, I always try to make gardens functional, where I will train this garden so that it gives me a good amount of shade in my living room during the hotter afternoon times of the day. And if you're tuning in, thanks for tuning in. And again, comment, share something. Hope you guys are having a good day, and thanks for tuning in. And my daughter's Prunus avium, otherwise known as a cherry tree. The English word cherry derives from the Old Norman word Cherries and from the Latin cerasum, referring to the ancient Greek region of cerasus, from which cherries were first exported to Europe from Greece. The cherry has been consumed throughout the Mediterranean since prehistoric times. Cherries arrived in North America early in the settlement of Brooklyn, New York, as early as 1630. And my daughter loves to snack on cherries, and so I imparted some wisdom from my dad. My dad once told me when I was a kid, "Do you like eating that?" When he was referring to lemons and strawberries at the time. And he said, "Anything you like to eat, put it in the ground and you'll always have it to eat." And so I told my daughter to plant that cherry seed when we first moved here to Gettysburg, and her cherry tree is already that tall. Said to me once, he says, sounds about as interesting as watching the grass grow. And I said, it's more interesting than you can possibly imagine. I've been doing it for over 25 years. And piece of advice on seeds, where I do like to get my seeds, where I've gotten a lot of my seeds over the years, is from Baker down south. They sell a lot of heirlooms. They're a great company. They stand behind their products, and they absolutely sell high-end, excellent seeds. One piece of advice I've given people over the years is to never, ever go cheap or generic on your seeds. You get what you pay for. And that tall plant there is not cannabis. That's actually some avocado coming up. And my morning glories. Morning glories are so easy to grow. They're so aggressive. They're so easy to train. They're so easy to break. They're so succulent. They're fragile. But the varieties and the colors are just infinite. And they will actually cross-pollinate and create new colors. And I'll insert some photos of the morning glories I've grown out here over the years. One thing I thought about doing in the past couple of years is actually putting up a soccer net up over this and making the morning glories more functional, where the morning glories will grow up over the soccer net, so I have a natural shade awning for my living room. Morning glories were first known in China and used first in China for medicinal purposes. The seeds have laxative properties as well as other fun properties that some of you may be aware of. The flowering vine was first introduced to Japan from the Asian continent sometime during the 9th century, and the Japanese were the first to cultivate it as an ornamental flower. During the Edo period, during the 17th century, morning glories became very popular. The Japanese have led the world in developing the different varieties, and hundreds of varieties have evolved with such wonderful names as Brocade of Dawn, Moon in the Dust, and Wisteria Girl. Morning glories have come to symbolize summer in Japanese horticulture and art. Ancient Mesoamerican civilizations used the morning glory to convert latex from the castilla tree to produce bouncing rubber balls. The sulfur in the morning glory's juice served to vulcanize rubber, a process predating Charles Goodyear's discovery by at least 3,000 years. Aztec priests in Mexico were also known to use the morning glory for its hallucinogenic and religious uses due to its hallucinogenic properties. The seeds of many species of morning glory contain ergoline alkaloids, such as psychedelic, organovine, and ergine. The seeds of Ipomoea, tricolor, and turbina corymbosa have been known to be used as psychedelics, specifically the powdery blue ones. The seeds of morning glory can produce a similar effect to LSD when taken in large doses. Again, depending upon the morning glory, large or small doses. Though the chemical LSA derived from the seeds is not legal in some countries, the seeds are found in many gardening stores. But keep in mind, seeds that you find in gardening stores, any seeds, you don't truly know, we don't truly know what was used on them. So, pesticides, herbicides, insecticides, fungicides could have been used on seeds such as morning glories. So, cancer causing, cerasus causing, herbicides, insecticides, fungicides, restricted use or otherwise, are and can and could have been used on any seeds that you buy anywhere. So be wary of what you put in your mouth. On that note, back in 2005, when I ended up in the hospital, for toxic iron overload disease, my organs were shutting down. Iron was at such a dangerous level; it was attacking my organs. After I'd recovered and was released, my doctor told me, he said, you can't use restricted use pesticides anymore, herbicides, insecticides, fungicides, etc., because of the cirrhosis on your liver that was caused by too much iron being produced genetically in my body. And so my question was to my doctor, if those chemicals are dangerous for me now, should anybody be using them in the first place? People have to wait to get sick before a doctor tells them, you can no longer use this stuff because it causes liver damage. And so, I think we should ponder, should we be using that stuff in the first place? I find it surprising and shocking after 50 years of being on this planet that we as human beings still go into grocery stores and we put things into our mouths that we pick up at a grocery store that we don't know how they were produced, how they were grown, where they were grown, who produced them, manufactured them, created them. As I often joke, created in a basement laboratory for me and you to enjoy, and we wonder why there's medical pandemics all over the earth. So helpful plug for my friends at Cedar Valley Sustainable and Copper Kettle Farms. If at all possible, purchase from my friends, and hopefully my friends will become your friends, and get to know the people who you're getting the things that you're putting on your dinner table. 100 years ago, that was old hat. It was the rule of the day. In any event, guys, thanks for coming hanging out with me in my garden. I'm sweating like a pig, stuck in a stiv. But I hope you enjoyed this little bit about my garden, a little bit of history from some of the notes that I compiled, and it looks like we have some more storms coming. And I hope you guys had a good day. And just one more day for me, doing a pretty good job at faking being well. And if you're in my boat, keep up the good work, faking being well.
Here with your friend Roger Swain, formerly known as the host of PBS's Victory Garden, here with our new show, Hobo Gardens of the Sick and Tired of Being Sick and Tired. From beautiful, sunny, expensive, this isn't Santa Barbara.
Have a good day, y'all.